There are many benefits to a raised bed garden. First, the standard-sized raised bed doesn't take up your entire lawn, yet it's big enough to grow a nice crop of herbs and vegetables. Also, you can place the raised bed strategically so that it receives just the right amount of sunshine. And you control the soil mixture to make sure you get a bountiful harvest. Today we're going to build a 4 by 8 foot raised bed out of 2 by 6 rough cedar boards. We're using cedar because it's naturally decay and rot resistant. We'll fasten the boards to 4 by 4 posts using galvanized carriage bolts. Then we'll find the right spot to place our raised bed so we're ready when the growing season starts. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is pick up some cedar 2 by 6s at your local independent home improvement retailer. The staff there can help you select lumber that is straight and not twisted or warped. We're using 8-foot long pieces because our raised bed will be 8 foot long and 4 feet wide. Since we're using 2 by 6s, we'll need 2 rows to get the proper height. From a construction standpoint, this length eliminates having too much waste. Also, it's a length that is manageable hauling it in my vehicle. It's always a good idea to sketch out your project first to take into account the ideal length of lumber you'll need, as well as how many pieces you'll need so you can get everything in one trip. We'll start by placing the lumber on a pair of sawhorses and cutting the shorter pieces to length using a circular saw. If you don't have a circular saw, you can also use a handsaw. We chose a width of 4 feet for our raised bed because it makes sense from a construction standpoint, as there will be no wasted material. Put a pencil mark at 4 feet, then using that mark, make a mark across the entire board using a speed square. This will be the cut line for our circular saw. We'll need to cut 4 of these pieces for the ends. It's always a good idea to clamp the workpiece to the sawhorses whenever possible. Next, we'll cut the 4 by 4 posts into 2-foot lengths. That way, we'll be able to get all 4 corner posts out of one 8-foot 4 by 4. A standard 7 1/4 inch circular saw won't cut all the way through a 4 by 4 post, so we'll have to continue our mark around to the opposite side to make our cuts on opposite sides line up properly. To be able to sink the posts into the ground, we'll cut a 20-degree angle with our reciprocating saw on all 4 sides of the end of the post. This will make a nice pointed end that we can sink into the ground. To find this angle, we'll use an angle gauge and a speed square. When you find the angle, tighten the nut on the angle gauge and transfer the angle to all 4 sides of the end of the post. Remember, when using power tools, wear your safety glasses and hearing protection. Cut along these lines using a reciprocating saw. You can also use a handsaw for this, although it's a lot more work. Repeat this for the other 3 posts. We'll fasten the 2 by 6 cedar boards to our posts using galvanized carriage bolts. These have a coating that will not rust. We're also going to countersink the ends so they won't stick out. We'll do this using a 1 1/4 inch spade bit. We'll need to be careful to position our carriage bolt holes so they won't hit each other, coming in from a perpendicular direction. To do this, we'll alternate our marks at high and low points on the post at each corner for each 2 by 6. Since our carriage bolts are 5 inches long, we'll drill our countersink holes about 1.5 inches deep. To drill the countersink holes, position the tip of the spade bit on the marks and drill to a depth of 1.5 inches or approximately the depth of the spade bit. This will ensure that we have enough of the bolt coming through the post to get a washer and nut on it. Now we'll clamp the post to our 2 by 6 and with our 3/8 inch long drill bit, drill through the center of our countersink hole out through our 2x6. The pilot hole left by the spade bit will be our guide. Keep the drill level by positioning it parallel to the ground. Hammer the carriage bolts through the 2x6 and post and insert a washer and nut on the end of each bolt. Tighten it with a socket wrench using a deep socket, as a normal socket might not reach all the way into the countersink hole. The good thing about using carriage bolts is that they won't turn due to the square design under the bolt cap that grabs and holds the lumber. We just have to repeat this 15 more times on both tiers of 2x6s, making sure each end is secured to the post with a carriage bolt. When you've finished, get someone to help you to position it where you want it, being sure to put it where it will get plenty of sun. Depending on your soil, you may need to dig holes for the posts with a post hole digger. There you have it. Now it's time to put in your favorite mix of garden soil and other soil amendments, and you're ready to plant. If you have questions about this or any other home improvement project, be sure to read our list of frequently asked questions for this video. And don't forget to print out our project instructions, which includes a tools and materials checklist before visiting your local independent home improvement retailer. That's where you'll find all the products and helpful advice to complete your project. If you're not sure where to find your local store, check our store locator. Good luck with your project. Thanks for watching.